Welcome back, Project Return. My name is Elizabeth Keel, and I'm your program manager at Project Return, Florida. Yeah, holler out. Let's reach out for each other. Say bump, bump with our social distancing going full force. Yeah. So, anyway, welcome back to some Zentangle line drawings with Miss Elizabeth. And what you see here is an example of the one that I did. And it's got the 6 squares and 2 circles and a bunch of weird triangles and other shapes going on. And I'm going to show you how I made this today. And I'm encouraging you to do one of your own. So I'll have some prompts for you. I want you to respond to them and we'll go from there. So, as I say, let's begin. Okay. So, we've got our paper. I've already started it. I've even added in some designs to start. And you can see I've got 2 circles and 6 squares. And how I created this is by using a roll of tape and just a little box that I found in my house. And I just traced those shapes with my pen, and voila. And so what we have is our first thing. So in our first square, I want you to do a design that has circles. Now, don't copy mine exactly. I know it might be in your instinct to do that when we have a demonstration. Sometimes you like to follow along. Go ahead, and if you want to follow along, you can. But don't feel free to do your own design. That's the whole point of this exercise. So I started with circles, and I wasn't quite satisfied with how I put them, so I added in some weird lines. And I started creating these like weird tube arms. And you may find that if you decide to add connecting lines to your circles that you create weird shapes too. So I saw a positive and negative space in this, and I wanted to really accentuate that. So I'm going to go ahead and color it in. Now, with a permanent marker, it's really difficult to get a super even coat, and even harder still to get a precise point if you don't have a precise point, but I am out of my black marker, so we're improvising. And I'm only using marker for this. If you only have a pen or a pencil, that's fine. I'm only using marker because it's simple. So I'm going to go ahead and jump forward really quick. And so as you can see, I filled in a couple of my different squares and darkened up some of the lines in my center. And so I urge you to pause it and take a good hard look at what you see and see what design elements you can find. What kind of lines do I make? Are they straight? Do they have the same width? Are they curvy? What shapes do I have? What positive and negative space do I create? And what sense of light or dimension do I have in my drawing? So I want you to just take a look at those elements, pause the video, and take a look at that. When you're done, return. So welcome back to drawing. And so what I've done is I went ahead and created a furthering of that design from the center circle over into my right quadrant of my circle there. And I wanted to continue the wavy lines of this kind of rainbow shape as well, as if it was getting bigger and bigger. And same thing down here. I made those lines match up with the lower left quadrant. And I'm going to show you how to make a straight line real quick and easy using a straight edge. I've got a note card. Super quick, super easy, very fast. So I've gotten some wavy lines. Now I'm going to go in and add some more shapes. And in this area I mess up a lot, and that's okay, because it's all about being in the moment and being present with the drawing. And so I'm going in and I'm making some circles. I decided I wanted to make a big white circle with a big black dot in it. Did some fun little circles like that. Tried to do a few ellipses, didn't work out so well. And I really started to like this kind of circular, weird stencil look to it. And it kind of continued some of the designs just a little. And so I continue doing that. And so looking at our top left and top right quadrants, I have the same element going forward, and I created the same diagonal direction for my little coral reef things to sprout out from. And I also made smaller ones. And in the center, I started off with some lines, but I added in an element to provide some value. And what is that? I added some stippling. I encourage you to add some stippling and some cross hatching to yours. Maybe not if you're using a marker like I am, but making something other than just the lines, making something that's got some hatching, stippling combined. And then perhaps varying your line weight even more than I have, making some really thick or really thin, or some really, really wavy that transition into a super thin line that then becomes straight and then zigzags off the page outside of your square. I mean, the possibilities are endless. So, same thing in the bottom left and bottom right. I continued what I was doing. And here where I'm working now, you see me alternating the black and the white. And I liked the way that looked, but I couldn't figure out a way to bring it in all together, so I kind of made a bit of a mess of it, but we do what we can. And I thought, you know, those little black circles need to be in that one too, keeping it consistent. And I added a new version on that side, and I liked it. So you might see the sun shading in and off of my table where I work, but if you do, sorry about that. And so as we get to the end of this, you can see on the inside sections, I've done all kinds of crazy things. So I encourage you to pause this, take a look at the images, and see what design elements you can find. See where your mind takes you. So that is the end of our time lapse. So look for those design elements. Try to keep some consistency there. So you'll notice throughout my drawing I have circles. So you can see them in the middle, in the side and top sections, all throughout the middle, in the bottoms as well. And there's also a motion, a kind of gesture going on through the line work that I did. So remember, Project Return, have fun, and I'll see you soon.